Hello, 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 hello. Hi, Brooke. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Matt. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Aretha. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Glenda. Hi, Mackenzie. Hi, Karen. Hi, Mark. Hi, Michael. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Laura. Hi, Rodney. Hi, Aretha. What did I miss? Sherry, Bridget, Tia, Minnie, Elizabeth, Donna, Cindy, Fabian, Susie, Tara, Glenda, Behringer, Philip, Nana, Joe, Melinda. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the first time was a test run because I had to make sure my software was running right, you guys. But how you guys doing tonight? How are you guys doing tonight? I know it is not good news out there for anybody that pays attention to anything going on. Biden deciding to raise oil prices, well, yeah, that's basically what he did by sanctioning Russia today. I mean, I don't know how it's going to affect everybody here in America, but it's going to be a drastic change. I feel people are going to be hurting in the wallet more than ever before. That's my honest opinion right now. People will be hurting more than ever before. And it will be a hardship. It'll be a hardship on everyone. Not just for gas, but for electric, for food, for any basic necessities you have to buy from a grocery store. I mean, it's going to hurt. It is going to hurt. But tonight we're going to do a little bit different kind of show. We're going to do call-ins. Of course, I want to see how you think this is going to affect America. So please call in if you want to. We're going to be doing that tonight. Talking about what is going to be the total devastation coming here in America from all this and what the actual outcome will be. Oh my goodness, where did I move that? I knew I shouldn't have done that. Let me get this back to the right size, you guys. There we go. Just complete utter devastation, of course, happening within our country. And this is where it started. You got to look at what Poland did right after, of course, the U.S. tried to, or Poland said, oh, well, we're not going to send our planes into Ukraine. What we're going to do is we're going to give them to the U.S. We're going to give the planes, let the U.S. do anything they want with our planes. If they send them into UK, if they send them into Ukraine, they send them into Ukraine. Of course, now NATO, or the Pentagon, has responded to Poland's proposal on jets. We continue to consult with Poland and our NATO allies about this issue and difficult logistical challenges it presents. But we do not believe Poland's proposal is a tentative one. Basically saying the U.S. isn't going to do that. The U.S. isn't going to get involved like that because that would have caused us to be the starters of the war. Pushing Poland again, making them look like the bad guy. This is ridiculous. It's a game. It is literally a game being played. And it's a game being played with people's lives at this point. Yeah, keep cash. Keep cash for sure. Keep cash, keep gold, keep silver. Buy stuff you need. Dried beans, rice. I love dried beans too. They're always good. Yeah, Biden thinks he's going to get oil and gas from Venezuela, a Russian-controlled country that's in total devastation right now. Yeah, $8 a gallon is a low estimate at this rate. Is a low estimate. As we've seen Putin warn before the sanctions even fell down today. he's been warning that and I'm guessing because he met with all of course, the big oil producers like Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Syria, Turkey, Venezuela. He met with all of them before this happened. So I'm guessing he knows what he's talking about when he says if you do sanction our oil prices will go to $300 a barrel. And I think it might be planned. If we hit that, it'll be ridiculous. Record number of foreclosures is going to happen anyways, as of course people will be paying for everything and anything. I'm sorry, I just missed a call just by a second. I don't know what number that was. Somebody calling from New York, call back. I missed it by like a second. I was on a different tab. There we go. Hi, how you doing tonight? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Chris, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. You're on there.
What's up, buddy? How are you, man? It's Billy.
Pretty good. How you doing?
Yeah,
What do you think? What do you think is going to end up at?
Voicemail, and then the second time it just was quiet for a couple seconds.
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to ask you. So, a couple things. Number one, if the oil goes up to $200 a barrel, I mean, will it cause a collapse in our economy? Because think about everything that's got to be moved by truck and other vehicles. I mean, those companies are going to probably start taking their trucks off the road. You know, instead of having an operation 5 days, you can see trucks only be on the road for 2 or 3 days because of the cost, right?
Well, not just because of the cost, because we won't have the oil available. You got to remember, we only have 28 days in our reserve, which is freaking ridiculous. That's our strategic reserve for wartime. Not 8 billion barrels, but 588 million, which is divided by 20 equals 28.4 days. We are in a big problem right now. And right now, and a lot of people don't understand this, and the prices have not reflected this yet, but Biden's announcement today was no longer allow any oil to even be offloaded from ships that was already purchased. There's 108 million gallons right now that are being shipped to the United States that were already purchased by Shell and BP.
Yeah.
That cost has to be absorbed somewhere.
So I got home heating oil delivered today, and I paid. I don't have a set contract with somebody. I buy oil from the same company for like 10 years, so I don't have a contract with them. And so today I paid, it was $4.70 a gallon here on Long Island.
And that's for home heating fuel. That's cheap. That's cheaper fuel than gasoline.
Well, yeah, regular gas here is about $4.30. So, but last month it was $3.55, and in January when I bought, it was $3.10. But anyway, so this guy, I was talking to the driver, and he was telling me that the people who are locked in with these locked-in rates with this company, some of these people are paying like $6-7 a gallon for oil.
Yep.
Here in Long Island. Yeah, he said like he delivered oil to this one house, and the bill was like $1,000 because they got locked in at such a high rate. So
it's going to be devastating to America. This is going to, and it's not just the heating and oil costs. We got to remember a lot of our plants run on natural gas and fuel oil. So a lot of our power comes from that. So oil surcharges and the fuel surcharges this month, because anything over $4 a gallon is a fuel surcharge on electricity, is going to be drastic. People aren't prepared for that. They haven't seen it since 2008.
Hey, and I wanted to talk about the war and about this thing I saw telling you about yesterday. I was sending you the message about the Azov battalion and their history, how they came about in 2014 after the invasion of Crimea. And, you know, a lot of people should look them up, because what I find really just astounding is, like, remember when Trump was first running for president back in 15, 16, and David Duke endorsed Trump, and Trump never even met David Duke, right? So the whole media kept hounding him, are you going to disavow David Duke? And she was like, I don't even know the guy. I never even met him. But now, turning around to, like, here we are, these same media types are supporting this, and I'm not condoning Russia for invading Ukraine. I'm not even saying I support Russia, I support Putin. But I also don't support sending out taxpayer money and equipment to a military where there are a large number of the military elements of these neo-Nazis, white supremacist groups, the Azov battalions.
Yep.
And it's a pretty large number of them. You know, people who don't believe, you can look it up, Google, read about it. You know, and everyone's talking about these atrocities, these war crimes that the Russians are perpetrating, but go back and read about what they were doing to the separatists in the Battle of Donbass, and how many women and children they were killing.
That's what I was saying the other night, and I was pointing that out. Everybody's like, "Oh no, it doesn't cost it." There's no way they were doing that. Those photos that were coming out and people hiding under the mall and hiding in the subway tunnels, those were in Donbass in 2015. Those are nowhere near with what's happening with Russia right now. Those photos are old. I went through and double checked them.
And
a lot of those photos circulating are old.
You can go on YouTube, and I know you would have it on a lot on your show, these live screens. And on YouTube, you put in live screen, Ukraine live streaming, and some of these feeds you can see like 9, 10 cameras, different locations all throughout the country. And I'm telling you, for this whole entire time, I've been watching this for hours now, both daytime and nighttime, and I'm not seeing anything. And these cameras are in different parts of the country.
Yeah, I've seen explosions. I've seen actual attacks happen live, not from the feeds that you guys watch, but actual. If you use an actual live search, like a live cam search, people go live on their Instagram or YouTube or Facebook, and it instantly picks them up if it's within that region. But you have to have it's a BitChute link that we use, and it's very risky because people could upload viruses, and I'm not going to share it.
Yeah.
But it's like we sent $3 million worth of Javelin missiles, 17,000. We've only made 45,000 total Javelin intercept missiles. We sent 17,000 to Ukraine. Why?
Yeah. Well, because Putin's public enemy number one to the world now. So now it doesn't matter that some elements of this guy's military are neo-Nazis and white supremacists. They wear the same symbol, the wolf angel symbol, that the 2nd SS Panzer Division wore on their uniforms in World War II. Look it up. That's a fact.
And the SS Division was literally, people are saying it's not happening there. It's not happening there. I've seen checkpoints where SS vehicles, literally with the big SS right on the side of them, are driving through these checkpoints.
And, another thing I don't understand is, we hear all these reports from, and Fox News is the same as MSNBC and CNN with their reporting. I mean, these people on Fox News I really got disgusted with Brian Kilmeade and these other people who are like warmongers and they want to destroy Russia and they're pro-Ukrainian. They're repeating the same stupid statistics that we're getting from the Ukrainian army. And nobody's vetting those statistics. They're saying 11,000 Russian soldiers are dead, but only 345 civilians or Ukrainians are dead.
Yeah, but over 20,000 Ukrainian civilians, or there's over 20,000 dead in Ukraine, but less than 400 citizens. Here's the thing. That means they've lost over 19,000 Ukrainian troops, and they're not even trying to report that number. They're trying to keep it hush-hush.
And the same thing with this 40-mile convoy that we've been hearing about for the last 8-9 days. They're saying, it's stalled because of logistics. They ran out of fuel. They're stuck in a mud. Well, how do we know? Because I've never seen any reporters that are in Ukraine go to this convoy to do some actual reporting and show us what's going on with the convoy.
There's some Russian troops that have there are some videos out from Russian troops. The problem is it's being censored from everywhere on the internet. Where there was a big portion of the convoy that went off the road overnight and they parked, and I think they lost 20 vehicles in the mud. So they did lose some, but this is a 40-mile long convoy. 20 vehicles, literally the 8 vehicles they destroyed in the beginning. They said, we destroyed a large portion of the convoy. 8 vehicles is not a 40-mile long convoy.
But
under
I
any
mean,
circumstances.
if I was one of these field reporters for one of these big major networks, and I'm there in Cayenne doing everyday live reporting, I'd be, you know what? Let's go take a ride. I want to go check out this convoy. I want to see what's going on. I want to be the first one to really, see what's going on and break and give accurate news of this convoy. What's going on? Is it really there? Is it really 40 miles long? Are they really stuck? Is there really logistics problems? I don't understand why nobody's doing that. But we're just taking the word from the Ukrainians and Pentagon sources say, this is happening.
Well, like I'm saying, I won't vet anything unless I can vet it by civilian sources and multiple that seen the same account that are not related, or it's not a copy of the same report. Has to be truly vetted for me. Because this is getting ridiculous because we're hearing so much garbage. Like the 2 nuclear research facilities that were attacked after the nuclear power plant was attacked. First of all, Ukraine just threw that out and the media ate it up. I posted about it and people are like, oh no, it was only 1 or it was only 2 and they didn't really attack. Well, that's not what's being said. I'm trying to show that it's propaganda. That's the reason I said supposedly a false flag operation.
There's a lot of propaganda going on in this war.
Yeah.
Now, real fast before I go, okay, what's going to happen? Is Putin going to do an all-out assault of the capital? Is he going to encircle it? What's going on? I mean, where's his Air Force? Why isn't he here? There's a lot of strange stuff going on.
Well, that's the thing. None of his real trained troops have been there at all. A lot of people have been talking, oh yeah, this is happening, that's happening. But none of his real trained troops have been in Ukraine yet. I mean, we've had some higher listed officials within his military, but very few is his elite troops. And that's what scares me.
Yeah.
Is what's he waiting for? Because if he's waiting for NATO to get involved, that could easily happen, and then we could all end up in a war. And I could see him waiting for NATO to get involved just so he can push, see how far he can push this.
This whole idea with Poland and the fighters was so. I mean, come on, that's the same as NATO attacking themselves.
Well, Poland didn't want to even get involved. The U.S. kept pushing it. Blinken kept pushing it. And then saying, oh, yeah, well, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. You can't just say that.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Poland today did the smart thing. They said, oh, well, the U.S. can take our aircraft and do whatever they want with them. And now all of a sudden the Defense Department said, oh, we didn't want them. Oh, no.
Yeah. All right, man. I'll let you go back to it. I'll talk to you later. Have a good one.
All right. God bless, man. God bless. If anybody else wants to call in, the lines are open once again. The lines are open once again. We love talking to you guys, talking about what's going on, how you feel, what's going to happen. Where do you think we're going to end up? That's what we're talking about tonight. Please try to limit the calls for around 10 minutes, though, so we can get as many calls as we can. But yeah, they're always burying my channel. They're burying everything. That's the reason I said if you do not have our Discord, please sign up for Discord, because when we go live, our Discord gives a notification. We have it set up to do that so we can make sure we get as many notifications out there for as many people as possible, so people can see what's happening and hear what we're talking about. But yeah, we have Twitter, we have all that. Unfortunately, even those platforms don't grow like they're supposed to. Sad facts that we're facing here in America today. This oil embargo, I mean, yes, is it necessary? Yes. Do I like it? No. Hi, how you doing tonight? This is Chris with Real News Live. You're on air.
Hey, Chris, how's it going? It's Alex.
How you doing, Alex? As soon as I heard your voice, good. I knew who it was.
No, I just wanted to call in real quick about the whole us sending jets in, Poland, everything else. Well, originally I was reading that they were going to back out of it. But what they're doing now is they're saying, okay, we're going to donate these jets to the United States. They're going to land in Ramstein Air Force Base.
Well,
And then from there,
here's what happened. I'm going to explain this to you because a lot of people didn't fully understand what happened today. Today, Poland said they were not involved with this. They don't want any jets. So Poland said if the United States wants to do anything with it, you can use the jets, do whatever you want with them. You can give them to whoever you want, but we are not involved. They put their hands up.
yes,
And
yes, we're not involved. So what?
And the Pentagon all of a sudden says, "Oh shit, we'll continue to counsel with Poland. We don't know what we're going to do because we just fucked up."
There's actually more to it than that. What they're saying is, all right, we're going to donate these jets to you. They'll land in Ramstein Air Force Base, but we want some used aircraft, quote unquote, used aircraft. See, Taiwan is next up for our delivery of several F-16s, stuff like that. But since they're requesting used aircraft, we can send aircraft over to them and postponing sending them over to Taiwan, even though we're going through a lot of shit over there. Sorry, I didn't mean to say the S word.
That's
on
honest.
there. So what they're going to do is they're going to donate the aircraft, the Russian MiGs.
Yeah, but the U.S., the NATO,
1970s, 80s.
the Pentagon basically said they don't want them now. They don't want Poland's aircraft. That's what I'm saying. That's the most recent thing.
I totally hear you. But
Yeah.
I'm saying this like little loophole that they're trying to say. Yeah, they're saying that. But what they're going to do is send them down to Ramstein Air Force Base. And then from there, send them over to Kosovo, which is a non-NATO country. And then you're going to have Ukrainian pilots go down there, grab those aircraft, and then fly them back. So it's this little loophole that they're kind of, trying to work on. I mean, that's just what I've read a little bit. And, kind of my opinion. It does make sense making this loophole, sending them down to Kosovo.
It doesn't matter. It would still be us giving weapons directly to Ukraine, and Russia's already said ain't gonna work. If that happens, Russia's ready.
Yeah.
Russia's ready for something to escalate. They're obviously playing the slow game here. Like I said, none of their best troops are there. None of their best weaponry.
And everything's focused right now on the western part of Russia, when they just built a huge base in Siberia and everything else. And a lot of Americans don't realize they're pretty much really, on our back door, essentially. They're not far away.
And they could easily take Alaska. That's the scary part. And we have DARPA in Alaska, and that would be our leading research and technology would all be instantly taken by Russia.
Not only that, but very close, for ICBMs and everything for the West Coast.
Well, the thing is, they have hypersonic ICBMs, so 5 minutes within firing, they could hit anyone in the world.
Yeah,
that's what people really don't grasp. I mean, that's a huge, huge thing. When something's flying at, I think it's 19,000 miles an hour. It's 33,000 kilometers an hour. I think it's
33,000. Yeah, about that.
I think it's 19,000 miles an hour, somewhere around that, if my calculations are right. But that's a ridiculous speed. It's not something you could just shoot out of the air or point a laser at and blow it up, because you can't heat it up enough with a laser before it's already gone. And it has a plasma cloud in front of it. When you have a plasma cloud, plasma distorts everything and blocks everything else.
You're going to have that plasma cloud.
Especially at that speed. Even at low altitude, that speed, you're going to have plasma still.
Because you're breaking up the oxygen molecules so fast and everything, it creates that heat plasma layer around there.
And that's the problem. If we really get into it with Russia and they start using these Zorka missiles that they have, we're done. We could try to fire our nuclear weapons, but like I played that video the other day because it's important, because it talks about the length of time it actually takes from knowing they launched to us getting to fire. It takes about 30 minutes. If it takes them 5 minutes from launch to strike, we don't stand a chance.
Absolutely.
We don't.
Nope. It's an initiative strike. It's a first strike weapon.
Yeah. And it's not a defensive weapon. It's offensive, what they have.
Yeah, no, completely. Because they want to strike us faster than we can respond. And once they strike us, the likelihood of us responding goes way down.
And Teresa, EMP or radiation fallout depends on where they blow up in the air. It is not difference in the actual missile or payload. It's literally high altitude or low altitude. Low altitude burns oxygen, causes fallout because of the dust and the debris that falls back. High altitude explosion doesn't create that because there's nothing to burn up. It just creates the electromagnetic pulse.
Well, it depends on the nuclear explosive that they're using. I mean, they're not going to use a dirty bomb or anything like that.
No, it'll be highly enriched uranium no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. High altitude, but the yield of the warhead is going to determine, the diameter of the explosive radius. But that's why you keep a couple old, microwaves that you get at, Salvation Army or something like that. But yeah, like you said, you got to keep them grounded.
All you do is have to plug them in because your ground plug should be grounded. I know this sounds weird. Just leave them plugged in. Believe it or not, throw your stuff in them because even the hot legs will become grounded.
Breaker. You can switch the breaker off. It's an old breaker. Somewhere you just switch it off. It's still going to be grounded.
Yep. Or an old fridge. The newer fridges, some of them aren't properly grounded on the outside cage because they don't need to be. The older fridges are grounded on the outside cage.
Well, sometimes it doesn't need to be grounded. It just has to be lead lined. Like an old 1950s refrigerator can do pretty much the same thing. As long as it's closed. I mean, I know it works for radiation, but I've heard it works for EMP.
Yeah, well, EMPs are supposed to, like metal and metal contact when closings on contacts. Otherwise, electromagnetic or EMPs will get through if it's not an actual solid cage. The best thing to actually do is, if you can't afford anything, buy chicken wire and make a ball, and anything you put inside of it will be safe as long as it's not touching the cage itself.
Yeah.
And there's no breaks.
The poor man's way of doing it.
Yeah. Well, I know people that have chicken wire cages size of a whole room in their house set up for you.
Oh, yeah, no.
It seems ridiculous, but...
Like back sheds. My grandfather had a back shed, and my uncle, he pretty much made it a big Faraday cage.
Yeah, it's the safest way to do it.
Radio and CBs and all that stuff in there.
Well, it's like my server cages. My server racks are Faraday cages. And a lot of people won't realize why big server companies do that. Because when you have them as data, a little EMP could wipe a lot of data.
Yep.
Big ones, forget it.
All right, Chris. Well, I just want to call in real quick and, give a little shout out and say hi and talk about, the Jets over there in Poland and all the other BS we're putting us through. But I really appreciate everything you're doing.
Well, thank you very much, Alex. We definitely appreciate you guys calling in and sharing your feelings of what's going on and where you think we're heading. I mean, this is what we're all about is...
Yeah, gases. Dude, it is horrible out here because I'm right on the border of Orange County and LA, and I got a V8. I'm in the market now for a motorcycle again.
I was going to say, how's a food truck going to keep going if they keep having to drive all these places?
Well, thank God our generator and all our grills and stuff run off propane, and the price of propane hasn't really gone up much.
Yeah, not yet, but it will. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be in much higher demand.
Yeah.
I mean, I can get a $500 kit and convert my truck over to propane.
Sure.
But
or you can always go the way of the government battery power.
No, even Elon Musk came out and said there's no way our power grid can support all electric vehicles. There's no way.
Well, it's like Musk today saying he's not going to block Russia from using his satellites. If they want to share their news information through his satellites, he's going to let them do it because it's Ukraine's putting out propaganda. Why can't Russia speak what they want to speak or try to tell what they want to tell?
I didn't hear anything about that, but that does sound like Elon Musk, because he's just kind of the Star Trek, like, we're all one people type of thing. So, all right, well, I'm not picking sides, but I'll give them internet and I'll give you internet too. If your internet gets shut down, screw it. But I also saw that McDonald's,
Starbucks,
Starbucks,
Coca-Cola, Pepsi.
yeah, Coca-Cola, yeah, they all ceased
Yep.
business with Russia.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
Yeah.
Because China's going to kick them out too if they do that, and then forget it because the American dollar. I don't know if you guys know. I haven't talked about this yet. A lot of oil-bearing countries right now are selling American dollars and buying Chinese yen. They're selling off American currency as their prominent currency or the world currency. This will be drastic if it happens all the way.
I heard about that, and I also heard that China also wants to start their own gold-backed currency.
Yeah, because they're becoming a world currency.
Yeah,
this will become a disaster if we lose our world currency status. Our sanctions will mean nothing except for punishing us, which now they're doing.
The dollar is going to drop like crazy.
Yeah, $15,000 an ounce of gold. That's projections. So that means dollar would be worthless, basically.
All right, Chris. Well, I'm going to let you go. Get back to the show. Man. It's great to call in. God bless. Love the Real News Live family. I haven't been able to watch the Texan feed or anything, or the type in. But all right, guys.
Well, love you here. Definitely appreciate you guys calling in. God bless you, man.
All right. God bless you too. Have a good night.
All right. Bye. Yeah, it's getting crazy out there. Companies, those companies have no problem doing business in China yet, or so far. What happens when China starts not letting them do business? That's going to be the problem, Billy. When China stops them from doing business there. Can you imagine if China said, oh, we're not going to let you produce any of your stuff here if you're going to ban Russia or keep these restrictions on Russia? It'll be ridiculous. Facebook gag. Yeah, it's happening all the time. Facebook is gagging people left and right. Oh, whoever it was that was calling you hung up before I got to answer it. Whoever was just calling you hung up before I got to answer it. Literally. I was clicking on the answer button and you hung up. You hung up before I clicked the answer button. Yeah, Debbie, you literally missed. You hung up right before I hit the green button. Hi, how you doing tonight? It's Chris from Real News Live. You're live on air.
Hi, Chris. It's Debbie.
Hi, Debbie. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, this stuff is getting heated up quick. I just hope we end up somewhere on our feet.
Okay, so this is off the subject of what we're talking about, Ukraine and Russia and all that. I saw today that, and I don't know if you know anything about this, that they're now going back after the January 6th committee is now going back after Enrique, whatever his name is, the leader of the Proud Boys.
Yep.
Now, if I remember correctly, when he went there on January 6th, didn't he get arrested outside of DC?
Outside of DC. He wasn't even in DC yet, and he got arrested.
He didn't even make it in there. They arrested him and put him in jail. So how can they? And he was in jail.
Because supposedly they have one person that turned. They won't give a name. They won't give any information. Supposedly one person turned and is blaming all this that is all a conspiracy. I think they forced a coercion or forced somebody to say all this just to try to get these charges started. Literally.
Yeah, I saw that, and I thought it was totally ridiculous because he got arrested. He was in jail, and then he had to leave D.C., did he not? Didn't they make him leave?
Yes, he left D.C. He was never involved with what happened on the 6th. They arrested him again today. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they're saying that they have phone conversations, recorded calls of him telling people what to do and all this other kind of crazy shit. It's crazy.
That doesn't exist at all. I know that for a fact. That doesn't exist. The only evidence they have is one supposedly Proud Boy member, which we don't even know. I think he's a Boogaloo member, stating that he told them to do certain things and what they were supposed to do and not allowed to do.
No.
But
I don't even understand. Go on.
I think they forced somebody to make a false confession or make false statements.
Or they're lying through their teeth and just saying all this.
No, I think they did force somebody to make false confessions. I think the government has a lot of power in a lot of people's lives. And maybe this person had a previous charge for something else. And this was a way of him not getting charged with it or getting off with it.
So you tell on this person and I'll let you free. I want you to repeat this and then we'll let you go, basically.
Yeah, because somehow they tied Trump into this thing. Trump has never been a part of the Proud Boys whatsoever.
Right.
Never. He was never involved with any leaders or talking to any of them. So I don't know where that came from. I mean, I can't get into why I know, but I know for a fact Trump has not talked to me. But
just more lies from our government. And then I also saw, and you probably talked about it, I had a hard time getting in. Like Facebook was really like it would show you for like a minute and then it would be I'd get this little spinny circle in it, say play video again. Anyways, so we stopped our purchasing of oil from Russia, but we only bought like not even a quarter of the oil from them.
We bought 106 to 108 million barrels a month, which is about 5-6 days worth of oil a month. So a quarter of our oil a month. The rest of it's been coming from the UK or EU or United Arab Emirates, EAU, yeah, and Saudi Arabia. But both of them, along with Venezuela and Turkey, all talked to Russia before this happened. And Russia said, if you try to ban our oil, you will be paying $300 a barrel. So I think there was an agreement made upon all of them already. And I won't be surprised if that's the price we end up paying for oil.
But if he would just open our pipelines, we don't even have to do that.
Well, the thing is, even if we get to start working on the pipeline to get it open again, even if we open up every single lease we have, it's still going to take 6 months to a year before we even get oil out of the ground. That's not processing the oil. That's not getting it to the gas stations. You're talking now 9 months to a year and a half before we see that oil actually being used for America. Okay. We can't be that long without oil. That would be drastic. Our society would have been far collapsed by then.
Right. So I really believe that Putin had a well thought out plan of what he was going to do. Oh, and I saw that they're trying to the Black Sea and those cities that are along that coastal line, that's where his focus is right now, is to surround and seize all those cities. And then he takes, because that one city, Mala, whatever, I think it starts with an M, is the major port for Ukraine and the surrounding countries right there.
He's already taken the major port. That there's different maps that are showing up, and there's a map. Of course, the map that everybody's using is probably mostly this one. This red does not show the actual territory. If you're looking at the page, I don't know if you are. This Menopole right here is all Russian. All this is Russian occupied territory, even though it's white. Menopole, of course, is the actual port. And we've been bombing ships that are coming, or Russia's been bombing ships that have been coming into Menopole.
All right. Well, I saw today they were talking about it. Tonight I was watching going through the YouTube news and pulling up different news things and looking at all of them. And they were saying that that's his plan. He does not have that coast secure yet, but that's what he's shooting for.
Russia's almost got half the country secure. That's the big misinformation that's being pushed out. Russia has almost
Okay.
half Ukraine already secured. They have Kiev all the way down to Crimea, basically east. They have several cities west of that that are along the border of Moldova, and of course
Monrovia.
working.
Isn't that's a port city, right?
No, Moldova is a country that's right next
Oh,
to Ukraine. The port city is Mariupol.
okay. Yeah, I thought it started with
We've
an
already taken that. That was taken before the power plant got hit. Or Russia's already taken that, not we. I'm bad. But yeah,
Wow.
because
All right.
this map shows, of course, totally dominated areas versus Ukraine. It doesn't even give like a halfway mark. I'll pull up the other map while I'm live here so you guys can see that because I think it's important. But still there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm looking at the map with you.
Yeah, I'm actually pulling up the other map that I have earlier. Actually, I think I saved it on my computer. If I'm not mistaken. Yes, I did. Look at that. Let me get this up here on the screen for you. See, this map truly shows you what's happening. The red areas have been taken by Russia 100% on this map that's up there now.
Okay.
Um, the red bars, the gray and red bars, are areas Russia's moving and taking as we speak. So they're going to close off all waterfront property will be closed off shortly. They already took a Mariupol and all that. The east side of the country is pretty much taken. Um,
Wow.
it's a lot more has actually been taken that's been claimed to be taken. That's the problem. They can claim Ukraine can claim whatever they want, but the truth is in the actual map. This shows the actual where troops are, planning, strategic. This isn't from Russia either. This is a map in Ukraine that's being shared by Ukraine military, so they know what areas to avoid. So,
Wow. All right. Well, I'm glad you're here, and thank you very much for sharing the truth with us. And I know that you put a lot of time and effort in it, and I really appreciate it. So thank you.
I try very hard to get you guys the updated information on when it's happening and why it's happening. It's just sad because there's so much misinformation out there.
Right. There's a lot of misinformation. And I don't understand something else is why isn't Biden letting the Ukrainians that have family here, like I saw where he wouldn't let 2 7-year-old children or 7-year-old 2 little brothers come into the country?
Yeah.
Why?
Um,
I mean, wouldn't that be the humanitarian thing to do at this point if we're going to help support the people?
I don't know what to do humanitarianly right now. Like I have people that are heading over to get citizens out of Ukraine. We're going to be raising money for them as soon as we get approved for the fundraiser, of course, because that's not our normal charity division. So we have to send that in, of course, because we're a charity here in the U.S.
Right.
But so as soon as that gets approved, we'll be raising money for that because we already got a team of guys going over there. They already got buses provided by the UK that are going into Ukraine to get citizens out that want to get out. Whether they're men, women, children, they don't care. They're getting them out.
Okay.
And Russia's already agreed to it. So
Okay. Well, that's a good thing.
yeah, it's
Uh,
it's crazy what's
all right.
happening.
I'll get off so somebody else can call in. And thank you. I appreciate you so much.
God bless you. God bless you. Good
God
night.
bless you. Bye.
I'll be right back with you guys in just 1 second. I got to help my grandfather. I'll be right back. I'm going to leave the map up here for just a second. Sorry about that, you guys. Sorry. Grandpa came and he needed help. We just got an update, of course. Foreign volunteers able to obtain Ukrainian citizenship if they want to. Being issued, of course. 20,000 volunteers so far have joined the Ukrainian fight against Russia in the last 2 days. Running out of gas today, not a surprise. Chest milk. That doesn't make sense because chest milk doesn't make sense because guys cannot produce milk. A male body cannot produce milk. Anyways, if the next caller wants to call in, we can talk some more about what's going on in Ukraine and, of course, around the world. How do you think it's going to impact you here at home? That's what we want to know from the callers here tonight. As we're talking about what's happening with the oil prices. What do you think it's going to do to food prices? What do you think it's going to do to if you're going to be able to still go to work, if oil does hit $300 a barrel? What'll happen? I know it's scary out there for a lot of people to think of that, but that's the truth. Is what's going to happen. I'll show you wrong, sir. I don't understand. Oh, you're going to make milk out of your chest? Oh, boy. I'm not talking about Pfizer tonight. I will talk about Pfizer more in detail. I will say that they're trying to get off the New York Stock Exchange, but I'm not going to get into detail about it until I get the full detailed report release from Pfizer, because I really do want to talk about that. And Pfizer is an important issue, but that's going to be another night when we have more stuff to go on and more stuff to talk about. But if you guys can afford to donate, please do, as we are raising money here for charity, as usual. You guys don't know that. That's what we do here. We raise money for families in need. Right now, we're raising money for, of course, Easter, which we do think is a worthy cause. Richard, I don't think you understand that would be bad. $85.80 to fill a minivan? Oh. I would hate to see. I don't even know what's going to cost me to fill my RV. I know it's going to be well over $500 already, but well over 500. So it'll be fun. Hey, just wait. Soon, it'll cost your firstborn child to buy gas. Wait, firstborn child, guarantee. That'll be the next raising gas prices. What's a timeline thinking of oil compression? That all depends on how fast we escalate this. Right now, our currency is slowly becoming the non-world dominated currency. And that has a lot to do with a lot of other countries at once and how fast those reactions happen. And they're happening faster and faster, which scares me. Those reactions are happening faster and faster. And as we watch that happen, our gas price is going to go up and up. As our currency becomes worth nothing, we run low on fuel. Our bread and food prices will hit astronomical heights. Hyperinflation will start. And once hyperinflation starts, it'll keep happening until literally you're paying for a gram of gold right now is $50. Imagine paying $2,000. Don't worry, I banned the spammer that was already in stream. But it's not going to be good. Gas prices will be higher than Biden or Hunter. Yeah, that's what they're going to do temporarily, Rodney. Is we'll see a massive stimulus, massive stimulus is coming out. Stimuluses on top of stimuluses, and they'll talk about a monthly stipend that'll go to all Americans. There'll be a stipend payment to, of course, so you can provide food. And then at that point, the American dollar is so devalued, it'll be over. Our government will go bankrupt, declare bankruptcy as a country. Yeah, we'll be Venezuela. We'll be Venezuela. It's either you'll submit to the government or you'll have to hunt and fish for yourself. And then we still won't have anything that we have today. You can make your own bread pretty much with any kind of seed on the side of the road, Alex. Maybe I'll have to go through that one day and talk about how easy it is to make bread with pretty much even grass seed you can make bread with. But, oh, you're getting a good deal there, John and Coachella. $6.54 a gallon for diesel? That's not bad. Yeah, price of wheat's up 64%, I think, or 68% today. Cashless society will never exist in America. People do not trust American banks or the American government enough. Cashless society will never work here in the U.S. Never. You think it would because everybody uses debit and credit cards right now? The second they try to do away with actual currency, people would be at the banks taking it out in droves. I think Russia's holding up fine. They have not sent any of their skill fighters, none of their new weaponry. The only vehicles we've seen in Russia or in Ukraine, period, even helicopters and planes wise, are from the 40s and 50s. Literally, that old. None of their new fighter jets, none of their new none of their new tanks, none of their new transports. I think they built like between tanks and transports since 2017 and now. I think they're at like 8,000 new transports and tanks total. We haven't seen any of those even touch Ukrainian soil. They have a huge, vast number of those. Manual can opener, just get a butcher's knife and know how to use it. Yeah, Ukraine's winning. Oh. Yeah. 1,200 filler semi tanks is ridiculous. And if freight rates don't start going up enough to cover that, truckers will not be on the road. They can't afford it. They literally cannot afford it. Well, states have their own gas taxes and they can do away with those gas taxes, but then where does the money come from the road to fix the roads? Or the money to maintain stuff? Then the police, of course, write more tickets. Which, of course, means you're pulled over on the side of the road longer, getting more tickets for the police departments to support themselves. It's just an endless cycle. An endless cycle. Because Ukraine is not winning. They cannot take back areas that Russia already has. They are heavily outnumbered and heavily outgunned. Since 2017, when they did their training exercise, their military performed so poorly that they revamped their entire military. They started changing everything, making it better, making people want to join the military instead of having conscripts. And now they have a volunteer fighting force again, new everything. They, of course, have all their old stuff too, which they just throw into, use to do whatever they want. Yeah, Mad Max, here we go. Pull back gas taxes for a while. It's not going to affect the price that much. Gas taxes are per gallon. The price increase is a percentage. It's going to be ridiculous. I think we have flat tax on most of our gases from federal. No, somebody in the United States hired an actor in Ukraine, and then to become president, and then placed him in presidency. Jason, they did not vote him in. It's a joke. We still don't know. Yeah. What is it right now? Oil prices, I think we're at 220 or 123 today. I think that's what it was when I looked at oil earlier today. I gotta look again because it's changing so quick. Commodities market is flying today. Looking at it right now. Brent crude, $131 a barrel. 131 a barrel right now. Brent crude. Gasoline pre-tax gasoline rate. This is a pre-tax gasoline rate per gallon. It's $3.75 a gallon right now before taxes. That's up 2% today alone. Brent crude is up $2 or 2.5%. So we're just at gasoline, of course, will have a reaction. It's going to be a delayed reaction as we watch this. If you look at Bonnie Light or natural gas and heating oil, natural gas or heating oil is up 4.2% today alone. Hitting 462 now as of 15 minutes ago. 462 a gallon before tax. Natural gas is at $4.60 for a million British thermal units. Louisiana Light. Well, let's go to OPEC basket because that's per barrel. Or no. Yeah, that's per barrel. 126 a barrel. I mean, they're not disappearing. These gas prices, the oil prices are going up. Russian economy they've lost approximately 30%. 30% since this has started. Their ruble has dropped 30%. But that's a short-term effect, and it hasn't been keep going. That's the problem. Even with this announcement today, the ruble has not dropped much. People will try to do anything to get food and gas, especially when they get their... Here's the problem. The end of this month is going to be one of the hardest months we see. When people start getting power bills with a fuel surcharge on them that are astronomical, people are going to have to face those facts. And of course, it's not going to be pretty. It is not going to be pretty. Yeah, grow potatoes. Grow peanuts. Get some cast iron pans so you can cook over an open fire. Delivering food inventory by trains. Well, trains only get it so far. Yeah, a lot. I live in a very populated space right now, very populated area. I live in South Florida. When I go to Uber Eats, when I went on Uber Eats earlier, there's no drivers available because drivers don't want to drive. They can't afford to drive for that price. Yeah, make your own vodka too. Do whatever you gotta do. It's corn, you know. Yeah. Whatever the vid didn't get, the fuel prices will. Oh, it's gonna be sad. I know somebody last night was asking me if I had Zillow as a pay method. I set it up. So if you guys want to donate through Zillow, I did set that up last night. If you want to donate through Zillow, I will put the thing in chat. That was Zillow in there, so it made me think of Zillow. Yeah, for you guys. Oh, can you imagine what people are going to do when? Yeah, sure. Glad we got electric buses. Can you imagine what people are going to do next winter, though? If this goes on that long and it actually society does degrade where we lose our dollar value and the American dollar is no longer prominent, next winter will be hard. It'll be a lot harder than we've seen this winter. Because people won't have enough heating fuel and oil. And like New York State, they ban fireplaces now. Some ridiculous garbage, carbon emissions. Yeah, the point of no return has been reached. And where does that lead us? Where do we head from here? Where do we head? I mean, do you get something? Do you just say, you either have to plan to go self-sufficient no matter what, even if you're still working. Start making efficiency goals for yourself of how you're going to make your life better by not relying on somebody else. You're not going to rely on somebody else to grow your vegetables or your corn or your garden goods or variety goods or whatever you want to call them. Yeah. Start a garden. Do something simple. What is going to make your life better? That's the question that's going to end up at the end of everybody's mind at the beginning and the end of this. Is how do we make my life better? Or how do you make your life better? Is it going to be by making sure you have food or warmth? What's the biggest thing you need in your life? We're going to be heading into summer soon, which not soon enough, but soon, which is great. That'll help us out tremendously with what's happening. But it's not the answer to everything. As we see, people are still suffering. I mean, if you can't afford $1,000 for oil or natural gas, then you're going to be in the cold. You're going to have colder nights. You're going to have to set your heat lower. So you're not using nearly as much electricity. So you can afford to have any kind of semblance of life. And we know that's happening. Not just here, but all around the country. Or not just in my neck of the woods, but all around the country. But you can always start a hydroponic garden. It's always an option. Start something small that you can manage yourself. Get one of these hydroponic gardens like I have. It's nothing huge or extravagant, or even, I would say, beautiful. But it's something that works, something I can rely on. There's a hydroponic garden growing right now in my house. Let me cut over this camera here because it looks a lot better. There's a hydroponic garden I have growing in my house. It has lettuce growing in it right now. It takes about 2 months. It uses like 5 watts of power, so it can run on a small solar panel. And it grows 36 plants at a time. 36 plants at a time. Not 1 or 2, but 36. Which is drastic. I mean, it's a drastic amount of food. It's not like a little bit or having to wait or say, oh, what are we going to do? Oh, we got lots of food there. Lots of food comes out of that. And I have 2 of those running. And I mean, literally, you can grow them inside your house year round if you have a heater. Yeah, indoors. Indoors, I have food growing. Well, I know it's sustainable. I know if I need to eat it, it's there. I don't have to worry or get upset or get frustrated because I don't know what I'm going to eat at my next meal. And I'm not waiting for somebody else to give me the, okay, here you go, the handout from the government. I'm taking it upon myself. And that's what it's about, is taking it upon yourself to make sure you're prepared for your family. When all this comes crashing down, you think the government's going to be there helping everybody? Or you think they're going to be helping themselves first? I mean, I don't want to be speaking for everybody and having their opinion pushed on, or my opinion pushed on them. I want your opinions. Who do you think the government's going to look out for first? Yeah, if it would work, awesome for devil's lettuce. I live in Florida, though. But who do you think the government's going to look out for first? You think they're really going to look out for you and me? You think they're going to make sure you have food? Oh, you don't see me? There we go. Now you see me again. Sorry. Yeah, this is inside my house, inside my front room. If you go, this is a restaurant supply company I actually ordered for this from. It was like $40 or $38. $38 for 36 hydroponic growing system. Pump everything. Everything you need except for, of course, fertilizer. Cameraman needs to be fired. Well, I am my cameraman, my producer, my everything at once, besides my mods. Of course, feeding me information if I say something incorrectly. Yeah. Well, hydroponics, I mean, the area, the space you use is drastically decreased. Yeah. Trap, skin, gut, preserve any animal, harvest salt from the sea, and even TNT. I don't want to say that online, but I just did. You got to live life. You got to be prepared. Got to be prepared. I'm not going to stay on here all night. Of course, nothing's really happening in Ukraine at night now. Of course, that's not what you hear on mainstream media. Of course, Russia's doing massive destruction and killing citizens left and right for no reason. But we're not going to feed you a story Not just going to feed you stories. That's not the way I'm going to play this game. I believe in giving you guys the truth and letting you guys make up your minds. Feel all news should be that way. I think all news should be that way. Well, you don't even got to stock up on canning salt, Debbie. You just got to know how to get salt. And salt is everywhere around you, whether you look at a lake or whether you look at the ocean. But salt is everywhere, and sugars are everywhere. You can preserve with salt, sugar, and vinegar. So if you don't have salt or sugar, you simply let alcohol ferment, cap it, and put it in the sun, and then burn it. When you kill the alcohol, it starts to vinegarize. And then you've got a natural way to pickle something or to preserve it. Yeah, tomato plants, right, Alex? That's it. You get grow bags. You don't even got to get buckets. Grow bags are cheap. Sandbags, buy a box of 50 or 100 sandbags on Amazon for like 10 cents a piece. Salt's everywhere there. Russia's been firing missiles from Belarus. That's not new. I mean, it's being new to some people, but it's not new. That's been happening now the last couple of days. Make sure nothing else is happening out there. But I'm probably going to sign out here. Thank you. I try to be as reasonable and honest as I can be. Try not to scare people. Just try to give people the truth. Whether we like to hear it or not, the truth is what's going to be needed in the future and needed today. And we could do it together. So stay safe. Yes. Good night, everyone. God bless you all. God bless you, Tia. God bless you, everyone that's here. We should bomb Belarus. If we bomb Belarus, that means bombing Russian allies. Not a good thing. Not a good idea. But God bless you guys. Yeah, Alex, you could sell salt for a freaking mint. If anything goes wrong and you have a trailer truck load, you could sell it for a mint. But God bless you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow night. Of course, if anything else does happen, I will come live about it. If you guys can afford to donate, please take a look at the links in the bottom. If you cannot, we understand. If you need the Zelle link, of course, it's Zelle, and then you use my real email address, which is chris2006hudson@gmail.com. I put it in chat again. If you guys want to donate that way, we definitely appreciate you guys, and we will see you tomorrow. Be safe, stand tall, and God bless America. And God bless every one of you. Good night.